Hello, Fisher. How are you?
Oh, doing well. Hanging there actually.
Yeah. I saw that you just gave a talk this morning, right?
Yeah, in the morning, a bunch of interviews and meetups. Yeah,
I mean, you're a busy man, so we appreciate your time a lot.
yeah. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I actually got a question about Babylon this morning, believe it or not. Well, actually, it's pretty believable.
Yeah, please.
No. And they was just saying, what was my opinion on Babylon? And I gave my opinion, which I'd be happy to share with you.
Yeah, please. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, and I sent you the recording as well, so you can tell that I'm not lying.
Okay, good. Hopefully it's not too spicy.
No. It's very good. And I gave a very similar opinion months ago when someone was asking me about the future of Bitcoin. But why don't we just take a step back and let you talk? Because let's be honest, people want to hear from you, right?
Yeah, sure.
So
Happy to share.
can you give us a little bit of background into Babylon and the recent go live as well?
Yeah, sure. So Babylon is a Bitcoin-centric project. Our vision is to build a more united crypto world by extracting the value of Bitcoin and use it to empower the rest of the crypto world. Yeah. So Babylon is most well known for our Bitcoin staking protocol, which allow Bitcoin, the asset, the coin, to be staked to secure other blockchains and rollups in the same way as how that ETH can be staked, Solana can be staked, so that the Bitcoin is staked and then to provide security so that the other networks which receive the security can pay staking reward to the Bitcoin stake. Okay, so what sets Babylon apart from the other similar project is that first, Babylon Bitcoin staking is trustless and self-custodial, which means you as a Bitcoin holder, you don't need to give your Bitcoin to any third party like multi-sig bridge or anything like that. No, it's self-custodial. And what's this? And second, it is true proof of stake security, meaning that Bitcoin is actually slashable if and only if you as a staker actually attacks the blockchain or rollups that you are trying to secure. Yeah, perfect. And also for hardcore Bitcoin holders hodlers, right? So staking is the new holding. Yeah. So with staking, you also lock the token there. You don't move it around. You still control it, but it gives you passive staking reward. So yeah, staking is the new holding.
Very interesting. And I know it's a two-side market, or some people may even say that it's a three-side market. Okay, so there is the holders, right? The Bitcoin holders, the believers, they still mainnet, you can use big native Bitcoin, right? And then there is the chains that are borrowing security, correct?
Yes.
Now, I've read recently, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm going of memory, I probably should have taken time to check on Twitter, but Osmosis is one of this.
Osmosis passed a governance proposal to become a Bitcoin secured network. 99 point something percent yes to that proposal. Overwhelmingly supportive. And then the way how they pay for the security is that any BTC related trading, for FYI, Osmosis is a Cosmos DEX, decentralized exchange. So all the BTC related transaction fees half go back to BTC stakers and baby stakers, and then all Babylon token baby related trading fees half go back also to Babylon, to the Babylon chain. So this is how they get security and pay for security. We also have quite a few already announced ones like Bob will become one, and Lombard and Corn. Many very excellent projects. And recently, we also make a joint announcement with Sui. Sui particularly it's not interested in security itself. Sui itself is big enough. They are not secured, but they are very interested in the Bitcoin liquidity and Bitcoin users. That the Bitcoin users brought by Bitcoin staking and the liquidity that you brought also by Bitcoin staking through liquid staking. So Sui is also very interested in work working with Babylon.
Of course, tap into the Bitcoin liquidity.
Exactly, to tap into Bitcoin liquidity.
Right. And as of now, what is the Bitcoin staking market cap? Are we looking at 3 billion? What is it?
So as of now, 502 50 something K Bitcoins are locked on the Babylon chain. And among them, about 30K has already been activated to actively provide security to Babylon Genesis. Yeah, so total TVL about 5 billion.
$5 billion. That's quite massive.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so Babylon Genesis is now one of the most secure blockchain in the world.
Really? And you guys just launched. I mean,
Just launched 2 weeks ago.
and I know that you're deep into research, and so maybe we can go there in a second. But when you talk to institutions, right, and this is also the point that I raised before. When you talk to institutions, what are they saying when you explain Babylon to them? I know that you recently also hired a new institutional guy, right, to talk to institutions and to explain the technology, to onboard these.
Wow, you know a lot. So
I do follow you. I've got notifications on live.
yeah, so we hired Boris. Boris was the executive director of XRP, Ripple. Ripple is very famous for its institutional adoption. Yeah, so their executive director joined us to help Babylon to get institutional adopters.
And when you talk to them, what is their feedback? Because from my side, I've spent 10 years working with banks, and my background is actually in consulting. I was traveling around working with the C-suite of these very large financial institutions. And then I recently made the shift into Web3, and very glad that I did, to embrace my passion. But when I was talking to them, they were fairly risk averse, right? So are they waiting to see whether the technology can be battle tested to then get, full steam ahead with this technology? What is the feedback that you've been getting?
Yes, so people ask 2 questions. First, is my Bitcoin safe?
Yeah.
Second, what is the yield? Yeah. So in terms of the first question, initially it took us some heavy lifting to educate them about our technology, but because most of the executives, they are not technical enough. But once we explain it, and also their own technical team did the due diligence, they are convinced.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the even bigger ones, I think they will sit and assess for a while before they come in. So I would say the current TVL, like 5 billion, is just the start.
That's what I was alluding to. Yes, exactly. And reaching 5 billion in such a short time while proving the technology, because these guys are just waiting to see whether there is any security breaches or incidents. And then maybe, a few months down the line or a few quarters, potentially years for some players, get with both shoes in, right?
Yeah. So this is one of the source of stress for me as a CTO. Yeah. So then the second question they ask is about yield. Yeah. Then I need to explain to them, Babylon Bitcoin staking is an infra. It's not like a financial product. It does not provide you like yield or any guaranteed APR or anything like that. It's an infrastructure so that you can stake with Bitcoin and to secure whatever you want. And then the chain or rollup that is secured by you, they can provide you staking rewards or transactional fees for the security you provide. Yeah, so it's not a yield bearing financial product, nothing like that. So I need to clarify that with the institutes.
And is it always in the native token of these layer ones that you are securing, or
native tokens?
Okay, very interesting. Yeah. And so what about a little bit about yourself, if that's okay to ask?
Yeah.
How did you get to this point?
Okay. I did my bachelor's in China and did my master's and PhDs in Australia. In the final year of my PhD, I invented a decentralized multimedia delivery platform so that it allowed like video, audio, or whatever media to be like distributed to anywhere in the world in a fully trustless and verifiable way. Yeah. So I patented it and sold it to Dolby Laboratories in the US. Dolby Surround Sound, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Cinema. Dolby sold it to Dolby. And then I went to California to do postdoc, to do research on decentralized system security, aka blockchain security. Yeah, so that's 2018. So I entered the blockchain or crypto space from the academia perspective in 2018. And during my postdoc, I got to know my co-founder, Professor David Shea from Stanford University, because he was the supervisor of my postdoc supervisor. So like academic grandfather. Yeah. So from 2018 to 2021, we do academic research and blockchain industry consulting together, to get our first-hand experience on the industry, so that we are not just writing papers, right?
Yeah.
Then by the end of 2021, we came up with the vision of security sharing, because at that time the whole blockchain space is very fragmented. We have hundreds of chains, thousands of chains, even tens of thousands of apps like DeFi Summer, right? So, but we believe like what's long united will be fall apart. Eventually, what's long fall apart will be united. Sometime. So we envision a more united crypto world in the future. So we started with this concept of Bitcoin security sharing, and then gradually evolve our protocols into what we currently have, Bitcoin staking, where Bitcoin empower the altcoin world with its security, rich liquidity, and users. So we create a more united crypto world. Then one was Bitcoin getting more mainstream adoption, and altcoin will also get mainstream adoption.
And I think your journey is quite inspiring for a lot of crypto founders, because I can only imagine the struggle when you were first pitching this product to VCs. Were you already saying Bitcoin staking, and they were like, "This guy doesn't know what he's talking about."
Exactly. So people, indeed, not VCs, institutions, everyone we talk to, they are very skeptical about it. But after a while, people verified our code, verified our cryptographic proofs. They say, yes, oh, holy shit. Babylon made it.
And the first ticket that came in, how did you feel?
Unbelievable. So it's actually unbelievable, and it's a relief. It's a relief. Finally, our tech, our vision, it's appreciated. And this is everything. This is how everything's. And you got enough runway to hire, and then to spread the word, to refine the papers, and then to raise again and again. We go from there. So everything from 0 to 1 is the most difficult. Even for BTC staking, it's 0 to 1 is most difficult. For example, people usually compare us with EigenLayer. So Babylon is just a restaking protocol, EigenLayer on Bitcoin. That's not the case, because in ETH, ETH is already stakeable natively. So what does EigenLayer do is to make ETH even more useful by allowing it to be restaked. For other services. But for Bitcoin is not stakeable at all. We took the 0 to 1 stakehold to make Bitcoin stakeable, so that holding, like staking, become the new holding. So it's the third native use case of Bitcoin besides holding and payment. So it's very hard to do the 0 to 1 step.
And I've never understood why people say restaking anyway when it comes to Babylon. Like, it's a staking protocol, if anything, or a holding protocol, right? Why do they say restaking exactly? I don't understand.
I think for many people always find something they are familiar with to anchor, to understand some new things. Because of the academic relationship between me, David, and Sriram. So people always think, Babylon and EigenLayer are like brother or twin projects. On the vision side, yes, we are. We both envision a more united crypto world where there is a big brother empowering others. Sriram pick ETH, David and I pick Bitcoin. But underlying tech is quite different. ETH is already stakeable and have smart contract. Bitcoin not stakeable and no smart contract. Much harder path.
Okay, what do you see the future looking like for Babylon at this stage? I mean, past success, I don't think it could have gone any better. What is the next quarter going to look like?
Next quarter, I want to talk a bit longer term. Maybe longer term, Well, for 3 months, it's clear. Our system is stable. We now need to improve our node to make it more usable, like adding more stable virtual machine, adding more IBC hooks to make it more accessible. In the longer term, what have we built so far is a port, a Bitcoin port. Bitcoin is a relatively closed, not ecosystem. It's relatively closed planet. Babylon is its trustless open port. So allow the value of Bitcoin to be extracted and shipped to the entire crypto world. So this port is now very secure. So for future directions, 2 directions. First, make the port more sophisticated. Keep building it to make it more useful. And second, with a very secure port, what do you do with that? The answer is liquidity, Bitcoin liquidity. Digital gold no longer just a golden nugget sitting in the background, but actually liquid digital gold, like a flood the pot and then go from there to the world. Yeah. So yeah, our next big target is Bitcoin liquidity.
Do you ever have any concerns in regards to, as I was saying before, it's a two-side market, hodlers and layer ones that are seeking security. When it comes to the holders, do you ever worry that you're going to attract too much TVL, like too many Bitcoins, so you don't even know where to put them anymore, or the yield is going to come down to relatively low? And do you ever worry about that? Because it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. Yes. So I think this is a market behavior. Yeah. Yes. So given the fixed demand, right, the staking reward is fixed. So the more Bitcoin staked, then the thinner the staking reward for per Bitcoin, right? But this really is up to the Bitcoin holders. Do they like to take this relatively low risk and get some small staking reward, or they want, okay, I will deploy my capital elsewhere and find more other opportunities. So it's a market behavior. It's not something I should be focusing on.
Yeah. And to be fair, like if there is more liquidity, there is probably going to be more chains that are seeking that.
Yes, exactly. So for us, what as the CTO of Boblin Labs and our team, what we should do is to make Bitcoin more usable and more valuable for the what we call now Bitcoin supercharged networks. Yeah. So our goal is to make the pie bigger and bigger, and the whole thing more usable. Yeah. Then more and more Bitcoins can find value and capture value from.
What's your target staking market cap for, occurring, let's say at Bitcoin 100,000, okay, so that we don't play around with the price right too much. What's your target for end of 2025 in terms of, the number of Bitcoins, let's say, that is going to be secured?
Yeah.
Secure.
Yeah. So past 10 billion?
Past 10 billion. So 2x from here.
Yeah. That's one.
We're on track, yeah?
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah. Because with us building more on-chain activities, onboarding more Bitcoin supercharged networks, I think you will attract more Bitcoins to come. So we set some moderate target.
And then some people, as we were saying before, they're still waiting for the technology to be beta tests, right? I mean, you had a lot of usage pre-mainnet. There's a lot of people that were testing out the technology because they're pioneers in the industry. And now people are just waiting and seeing how it evolves before deploying the old bag.
And to extend all this a little bit, there are different Bitcoin holders. Some are seeking yield or staking reward. Some are seeking liquidity. And so what we do here is to develop the technology infrastructure to make sure both types can find their place.
And I know that you do so many interviews, right? And I don't want to waste too much of your time already. But
no.
You do so many interviews, whether it's podcast or X Spaces, you travel around for conferences, you're always on stage, at least 5 panels you're in every day. And sometimes you do get asked the same questions a couple of times. Probably today we asked, even the introduction to explain Babylon, you've probably explained it 1,000 times now. But are there any questions that sometimes you feel like, oh, I wish they asked me that, but they never asked?
Oh, there are actually some very spicy questions that
what would you ask yourself?
Yeah, so a very practical question is, what does BTC TVL mean? Babylon has 5 billion TVL. There are other projects with also with a lot of TVL. What's the difference between TVLs?
Well, what is it?
Yeah, okay. So TVL, it's only meaningful if it actually provides value. Otherwise, you just have a fake number on your website, right? So Babylon Bitcoin staking, the TVL is real because every single Bitcoin staked on Babylon provides slashable security and currently to Babylon Genesis, future to the other Bitcoin supercharged networks. But if it is just some whales pretend to stake and then this is high TVL, then that's not very interesting. Or if the Bitcoin is so-called staked, it's not slashable, then it is not real that's not real useful. And
because people are not taking any risks.
Yeah, don't take risks. It's just free yield farming.
Yeah.
So yield farming. Yeah.
So that's the usefulness.
Right.
Okay. And have you ever been put in a tough situation where you said this question, that I wish they didn't ask that, but now you have addressed that in the past, so maybe you can repeat that. What was it? Like maybe at the beginning when not everything was fleshed out, or how has it been? Have you ever been put on the spot on some interviews?
So far, not, because I think every interviewer, including you, take very good care of me. So never put me in the spot.
No, I'm the opposite. No, I tried to ask you.
but in some panels, I was into spot as for example. Yeah. In a just in this morning, when I did the panel with Sriram and Misha. So Sriram from EigenLayer and Misha from Symbiotic. Yeah. So Misha make a statement that yes, actually, it's easier to build Babylon and EigenLayer after we have Symbiotic. Then
That's a statement.
Yeah. Then I have to explain. No. With Symbiotic, you cannot build Babylon because Babylon is native Bitcoin staking. Symbiotic requires smart contract. This does not work for Bitcoin.
Okay. Well, of course, when you're coming up with something new and something that people are not used to, like Bitcoin staking, there's always going to be questions and challenges along the way.
Yeah. So on that front, I think I'm super lucky to have my co-founder, Professor David. And so with King, we always go with first principle. We always try to build something that no one has built before. Yeah, so we're always the first of its kind.
Who loves research more? Is it you or David?
David is more. He's a professor. Like
every tweet starts with research.
Well, he tweet about random things, but he's super good at research. He always challenge the state quotes, never follow others. Like, too many people say, yeah, everyone's doing this, let's do it as well. Like AI agent, I pay 5, whatever, like trace the hot trend. This is not going to do it here. So one thing I'm very proud of our team is that we are very cutting edge, focused on designing and developing truly valuable protocols and products, and very thoroughly tested before we bring that. Yeah, so we never try to front run the market or anything like that. So everything we offer to the world, it must be something super good.
Yeah, something new and super good. Super good, battle tested, audited, and all that.
Yeah, so you can always trust about it.
Yeah.
But trust, but verify.
Yeah. No. I mean, I come from the institutional world, and that's why I'm so impressed with the recent, wins and success of Babylon, because I thought that would be even slower than this. I thought the capital will wait a little bit longer to see how it's working out, but the total addressable market of Babylon is huge. I mean, it's $1 trillion in the end, right?
Yeah.
So
hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it will get there, and probably even more in the future, as Bitcoin appreciates.
Yes.
So yeah, that's totally interesting. Any final thoughts on this conference, or you like to come to these staking conferences? You've been here for many years now, right?
Yeah. So the first one was I think in 2023, and I think that's the first staking reward summit. And when I entered the conference in Istanbul, I realized that everyone is ETH staking. There's nothing about Bitcoin. So I talked to the founder, Marco, about this. I said, hey, I hope in 1 year, in your stakingreward.com website, I want to see Bitcoin as the top staking asset in your website.
We're not far.
It's already there. It's already there now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Fisher.
Thank you so much.